Does anybody want to hear an explanation of why I say I'm left of Bernie Sanders? But you're not. Yeah, I am. All right. So we have to look at it on a topic-by-topic basis. Let's take the topic of abortion. Those of you who've read Win Bigly have heard this before. But on abortion, conservatives generally would be against it, and liberals would generally be in favor of abortions. And that would be Bernie's view as well. I'm left of Bernie because I think that men, and I would be a good example, do not add to the credibility of the laws in that area. Meaning that women have it covered, and they also have skin in the game, and a greater appreciation on average than men on average. So my opinion is that I'm going to follow the opinion of women on this topic, because I think that they're, for a few reasons. One is that my view is that the people who contribute the most should get some extra consideration. For example, veterans contribute the most, and we give them extra consideration, or maybe not enough, but we should, in terms of benefits after the war, respect, and that sort of thing, because they're doing the most. And I think in the case of keeping the species alive, women are simply more valuable because men can't have babies. And so I'm left to Bernie because I think that Bernie should not have an opinion on abortion laws, and neither should I. We should both have an opinion on our own wallets. So if there's a financial part to any of it, then of course men get a vote. But in terms of whether it should be legal or not, given that it's literally a life and death question, then I would say that women should collectively come up with their opinion, and that would be the most credible opinion, and that what matters in this particular topic is the credibility. Now, the who pays for it, men can certainly be part of that discussion. But whether it's legal or not legal, and under what circumstances it's legal, I think the most credible situation is if women in general have decided by a majority, and then men just say, you know, whatever you've decided, that's going to be the law. Yeah, the question of who pays, I'm not going to deal with that now, but that is legitimately a question that men can be part of. Then let's take free college and free health care. I'm in favor of those things, but I don't believe that we have a way to get there. There's no practical way to get there. I do think we could get there if the government was more activist in terms of focusing on, let's say, new technology. Let me give you an example. So this is left of Bernie, where I'm saying that the government should be more active in focusing people on, which is different from actively managing things. Actively managing things, you want to do as little as possible. But the government can actively get the country to focus on things. So let me show you one news story that came out today. It's about a handheld, I think it's a handheld scanner. Where is it? Here it is. It's called Butterfly IQ. Let me show it to you. And it's a whole body imaging scanner under $2,000. Now, I assume this is sort of a startup. I don't know how well it works. I don't know if it replaces anything else. But the point is, I would like to see the government shine a spotlight on the technologies that could really make a gigantic difference in the cost of healthcare. Because I think you could get the cost so low at least for some percentage of the public, and it might be just younger people, that the cost of insurance would become unimportant, right? So I think that would be something the government could do, and that would be left to Bernie as well. Now, on some of the big issues like fighting ISIS and, what should the tax rates be and stuff like that, I approach those with humility, knowing that I don't know the best answer for fighting ISIS, and I don't know the best answer for what our tax rate should be. I don't know anything about, trade agreements, and most of you don't as well. So on those, I simply observe what people are doing, the same as you, and I don't think that I could have an opinion on the big stuff, because I would be underinformed, just like the rest of you. It doesn't sound liberal, you're right, because it's left of liberal. Regular liberal doesn't interest me. But going farther than Bernie starts to get interesting. Scott, you would put your mother down if it cost too much money. I don't know where you're getting that. All right, I think I'm going to sign off here. Sounds more libertarian. No, it's not libertarian, because I just came out in favor of an activist government, but only in terms of shining a light on new technologies. Let the market do the investing. But I think the government could say, hey, this is a national interest. We got to get healthcare down. Technology is a big part of the solution. Did you know that here's a company that's working on something? Did you know? Here's a company that's working on something. Did you know? I think the government could have a role there. All right.